was pretty smooth, right?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Quiet. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, it was quiet too. Like, I have had caffeine today.
Oh, what a shot.
Caffeinate your career. Welcome to Caffeinate Your Career. Today's topic is how to be more productive. I am your host, career coach with the most, Jason Hopper. With me is my co-host, the spectacular Senior Director of Career and Financial Services, Miss Allison Harding.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, I'm checking now to make sure that we are live. And we are live. I see there's 3 people watching live right now. So if you are watching live, let us know where you're watching from. Give you a shout out. And also, too, like for this particular episode, we had you had an idea, and I had an idea, and we're gonna meld those 2 things together, guys. Because today, this is Caffeinate Your Career, the interactive version. So, Allison, you go first.
So what I want you to do as you listen to us or as we talk about things that you might question or be interested in, or any question you have about your self-health, your wellness, your productivity, your job search. This is the day to ask, because we're really open to being able to answer your questions. We're coming up with ideas that people have said, hey, can you talk about this? And so we do, but we don't know what all of you want.
Yeah.
And so when you watch, don't hesitate to ask a question on the chat so that Jason can look at it and say, hey, Allison is asking this, blah, blah, blah. And we can talk about it. And then you can respond. So that's what's so nice about these podcasts. You ask a question, we respond, you can respond, we can go back and forth just like a conversation in our office.
Yep, I got the chat is live. There are 4 people watching. The other thing I thought that might be fun, and I say, Allison, we're going to make this interactive today, is so we're going to talk about ways to be more productive, and then we're going to do like on a scale of like 1 to 5, how well we think we're doing in being productive. And guys, if you're watching live, let us know in the chat how well you think that you're being productive as well. So, I'm excited to do this topic because this was the second half of how to reduce stress and be more productive.
Right.
And that was like 2 weeks ago, and we just talked about how to reduce stress. We ran out of time before getting to this bit. But I think it's like sometimes it's a lot harder to be productive just because we have so many distractions, like whether it's like push notifications in your phone or text messages or, just people.
So my rabbit hole, which every time I do it, I get what I'm going to talk about. I get so mad at myself. There's an app called Next Door Neighbor. I don't know if all of you are on it. And there'll be like a headline about something that's happened in your neighborhood. And of course, you go right to it. And you go to it, and then you start scrolling down and scroll. And it's 45 minutes later, and I'm still on this app looking at stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with me or my neighborhood.
And you don't really care.
And it's like, I can't believe I hit this rabbit hole again. And every time I do it, I say, I'm never going to do this again. And I'll do it again. And my husband will walk in the room and say, what are you doing? Oh, don't ask. He said, you're not down that rabbit hole, are you? And I'm like, yeah, I am. So Next Door Neighbor is like my defining moment of time waste.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Mine is usually games on the phone.
Oh.
And I don't have a whole lot, but, it gets sucked in and, start playing. And now, though, I've gotten to like, okay, because I play words games, and we do Wordle too.
We all do Wordle.
We are obsessed with Wordle, but but then I play words games. It's like sometimes it's like, well, I've guessed like 3 of those words. That's pretty good, and then stop, right? Because otherwise I'll be playing it for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that technology part that's distracting.
What games are you guys playing on your phone? If you do,
yeah,
let us know what they are. Which ones are the good ones, not the yucky ones?
Allison's looking for suggestions.
Yes, I am.
I know you are, because I know you have a lot of games on your phone.
I am. I'm going on a trip, so I need something to do on the plane.
Yolanda, hey Yolanda. Yolanda Chen says there's not enough time in the day and just too many distractions.
There are too many.
And she said that rabbit hole is big. Yolanda sympathizes with you on that one, Allison. So first tip for being more productive is to cut your to-do list in half and only focus on things that are must-dos, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, how 5 being the best, right, and 1
Mhm.
not. You know, how well do you cut your to-do list in half?
So I think that's good for some people. I am very disorganized. I am not an organized person, and I have lots of different events that I have to get to all day long. And at these different meetings, or at a team meeting, or trying to think up new ideas of how to help people like yourselves, I can start working on something, put it down, forget where it is, go to something. I mean, I'm all over the place. So my to-do list is very important to me. I have to follow it.
Yeah.
So when you said to cut it in half, I don't cut it in half, but I'll look at it and say, these things are the most important. These are the things I have to do today. And then put the other things on my tomorrow list, to-do list. So I don't alleviate things, but I do move them around depending on their importance.
Yeah.
My other challenge is I wait till the last minute to do many things. And so my poor team is like, you have to get this done by 4:00. And they're like, really? It's 3:30. So I do that a lot. Sometimes it's because I don't find out until later. Or I just come up with an idea. You know, I'm very idea oriented, just, boom. And I have to say I'm the best team in the world, and it always gets accomplished. But I have to be very cautious and know that I have to follow a list.
Okay. So 1 to 5, you're going to be what, 3?
Yeah.
About the middle? I'm going to say that as well. I'm going to say 3 as well. I'm kind of the same way because, like, and I was laughing when we were talking about procrastinating. Like, me and you both are like, we didn't do our training homework that we were supposed to do, and next training is on Wednesday,
It's
right?
many hours. I stayed last night till 6:30 and finished it.
Did you?
We're in a new training program to
Yeah.
help people with their digital equipment. So it's going to be phones, iPads, and laptops or computers, and how to use them better. And so we're in this training, and you're given like 2 to 4 hours of homework.
That was a beating.
And the first training was last Wednesday, and so they gave us this homework. Brenda, whom you've seen on the show, did it right away. I mean, she's that perfect person who did it right away.
Phil.
And Phil did it right away. Jason and I
Not so much.
Forgot all about it. Brenda said yesterday, did you finish your oats training? I'm like, oh, I forgot all about it. So now it's on my to-do list.
I didn't forget about it. It just wasn't as important to me. But I have. It got done, Allison. It just got done when you did it. We did it late, but it got done. But like I have, and I credit Phil for this. He's like, okay, well, where are we missing things? I was like, I just forgot. I didn't get it, wasn't on my calendar. It's like, if it's not on the calendar, it's not getting done. Okay, well, how long does it take to do this? Like, how long does it take to set up all the equipment to do Caffeinate in your career? And I'm like, well, not that long unless something goes wrong, right? Like, the site's not down, or I'm not connected now to LinkedIn through the site, and I have, like, extra steps. And so I do it way early, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's on the calendar, the whole setup for the things on the calendar for like the hour. So if things aren't on the calendar, they're just not going to get done.
Which is really interesting. JFS had a retreat for their board. And one of the things when I was talking about this new program that we're starting next month is I wish my family used their Outlook calendar on their phones so that everybody would know what's going on and what they're doing. And so that's really interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah. Well, it helps, I think, to keep everything sorted out. And
we all share our calendars. So I know what Jason's doing. He knows what I'm doing, everything.
You got to look.
Yeah, you got to look.
I only have my calendar up. If I need to figure out what you're doing, I'll click it.
I do the same thing.
But Brenda has everybody's calendar up, which just like, I would like, there's no way.
Yeah, well, that's our disorganization.
That's exactly correct. Yolanda said 1.
You're a 1? Oh, Yolanda, that's not true.
Yolanda. All right. The next tip for...
Okay, so my next question is, what can you do to help yourselves complete the to-do list. So I really have to focus on things to, I look at my to-do list and then I mark them. What's the most important, second and third. So I have 1, 2, 3. And so I have to focus on being able to complete these things. As an example, we have a grant and we have to always put in certain numbers, and I always wait till the last minute. And now I've got it on my to-do list monthly to be able to look at it and review it and say, oh my gosh, we need to do this, this, and this, so that my poor team isn't like rushing around trying to fill in blank spaces. So those types of things are important. And I think if you pick out the important things, either in your job search or your life or your family or your spiritual side, whatever it is, do those, and the others will follow.
Yeah, I agree. You got to take care of the things, other things. So yeah. Second one was take more breaks, and it said that dull ache in your brain means your glucose levels are depleted, and take a break and recharge. How many breaks do you take? Breaks?
I don't know what a break. I don't know what that means by a break.
You stop working.
I will talk to people. I'll go into other people's offices during the day. My break usually comes at the end of the day. Careful. When I go home, my husband and I make dinner, put everything away, clean up, and then I love television. I mean, I know that's a terrible thing to say,
it's not,
but I really do. So I'll go into my work emails first, and those that are important I'll respond to, and then I like television. So have any of you watched Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
They started a prequel to Game of Thrones.
House of Dragons.
Yes.
Did you like it?
No.
I know. I'm kind of on the fence on it too.
So I watched it. I DVR'd it and I watched it last night. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. It's like they're throwing everything they did in the Game of Thrones into the prequel to draw you in, and I'm not drawn in yet.
I think it's probably one of those things that'll build.
Possibly.
I mean, both me and Steph watched it Sunday, and it was like, well, that was fine. But it wasn't just like I remember watching the first episode of Game of Thrones, I was just like, oh my God. This is just, it's okay.
So my downtime is at the end of the day when I'll watch some television and answer personal emails and correspond with friends, just brainless stuff.
Yolanda said, just like you, she has to focus.
Yeah.
I think so.
What do you do?
I don't take a lot of breaks. I mean, if I have if a client call ends early, I guess that would be a break. Like if I have time, I go and I will wander and
walk around the building.
See who I can bother. Yeah, I will walk around the building.
And you do walk into offices.
It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is remember when Mitch was leaving, Mitch left,
mm-hmm.
right? And everyone's
Mitch retired.
Yeah, so Mitch retired after 26 years of being here. Mitch retired, and I had everybody's like, we had made a book for him where you could write a note, and I didn't write a note to Mitch. I wrote a whole letter, and then I was talking to you about it, right? And I was all emotional. I was like, I can't talk right now. I'm just gonna go and walk around the building, and I walked out of your office, and you're like, okay. And then I did. I walked around the building a couple times. I felt much better, right? For me, movement helps me think and also kind of decompress.
Uh-huh.
And so sometimes I just need I forgot there was some one day the streaming site was down and I was just so upset, and I put everything away, did a post sorry that's screwed up, and then I was like I just have to get out of this building, completely out of here, and get into a better headspace. But if it's I just got time to kill, I'll go wander and bother the front desk people. I do. Actually, one day it was I forgot something was happening. Hey, I got to run and do this. Can you have a seat? And I was the front desk person for about 10 minutes.
That would be dangerous.
It was awesome. I didn't have a lot to do, but yeah,
Yeah.
I will go and bother people in the building.
So another thing I do, I forgot about this. I do needlepoint. I'm terrible at it, but I enjoy it because I can see the fruits of my labor, and that's what people who can do things abstractly and don't have to see change are. To me, I'm so envious of them. I have to see change. So when I'm doing needlepoint, I can look and say, oh, I just finished that tree on this piece of fabric that, is going to be a whole scene or something. So I like that. My girlfriend actually just took up painting, and she's awesome. And there's lots of classes online now, and it's one of those things where I'm so impressed what people can do with their time. And she works also, she's working, but she needed that relaxation, that break from family, life, problems, COVID, work, everything.
Yeah. I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to be a 4 on taking breaks.
Yeah, I think that's what I am.
What about you guys out there? It's Kat. Hey, Kat. Kat Alexander
Hi,
is
Kat.
in there. Kat says that she has to take breaks, but more importantly, she has to be diligent to get back to it after the break is over.
Yes.
And Yolanda says happy retirement to Mitch. And so, yes, Yolanda, that's right. Is it Here Comes Jason? I tell, like when I just pop in, somebody, I was just, hey, you got something? They'll like pull up their phone and be like, you got something? Just tell me to go. I'll leave happily. Like, otherwise, you got 15 minutes. I'm going to stand there and talk to you for 15 minutes.
And he does talk.
I do. I can talk, boy. All right. So this one is interesting. I thought it's like use your morning to focus on you.
So that is interesting. I I keep bringing up wellness. You can tell throughout this. I've been reading these books on wellness and self-care and all these types of things, and many of them talk about your morning time because it sort of sets your head, your brain, your body, your system for the day. And so I started getting up earlier with nothing to do. I used to get up at 7 o'clock, go downstairs, have my coffee, have something to eat, read the newspaper, and then take a shower and come to work. Do all that stuff. Well, now I get up like anywhere from 45 to 30 minutes earlier, depending on how I feel the night before, just to reflect, write in my journal, which I've never had before. And writing in a journal, let me tell you, is it's freeing because you say things to your journal that I wouldn't say to you or my husband or my sister or my friends because you're writing to you. And so it's your feelings, your thoughts, what you're angry about, what you're happy about, what you'd like to see changed, things that you've done well or not well. So your journal is for you, not somebody else. And so that morning time oftentimes is just spent, and I don't write for half an hour, trust me. It's like 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll put things in there, and or I'll put ideas, gee, I need to talk to the team about this today.
Is it helping?
I think so.
Yeah.
It calms me down in the morning.
Right.
And I'm not hyperactive or anything like that, but I'm oftentimes bouncy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. Well, I that's one of the things I do recommend to clients. And I mean, depends on the client, but I'm like, do you journal? Mm-hmm. But if they ever say, oh, I'm creative, and I say, do you journal? A lot of them do. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, I was like, I would try journal. Just I make that suggestion. Mm-hmm. By the way, Yolanda was a 4 on taking breaks.
Oh, good for you. But journaling is beneficial, but giving myself that extra time in the morning allows me to do what I want to do. If like Jason texted me this morning that he's going to wear his JFS shirt.
I got my JFS t-shirt
on. And I asked which one because we have different ones, and then he told me, so I got my gray shirt out, but mine's long sleeve. Well, it's 80 plus degrees and humid here in Dallas. Yeah, so I chose not to do that one. I did this one, and we just washed it yesterday, so it was clean.
It's clean. That's usually how I decide how to.
I gave myself that time to do my journaling, and then to read the paper, do the puzzle. I do the jumble in the newspaper.
Okay.
I love doing that. So I had time to do all that stuff and then change my outfit.
So I'm gonna say I'm on a scale of 1 to 5. You sound more like 4 or 5 on that.
Yes, on that.
I'm gonna have to be like probably a 3, because
you're busier in the morning. You have other things.
I get up in the morning, I feed the dogs, I get the kid moving to get ready for school, and eat something real quick, and then out the door to do drop off. But it's after that time, like from there and to it takes me like 20 minutes to get here, right? But between that time, and I'm usually early, and so then from I usually get in about 8, and I just hang out in the car, and I've got my hype music, right? And I listen to my hype music, and I get pumped up, and I'm ready for the day. And at some point during either when I'm parked and listening to my hype music or on the drive-in at a stoplight, I always look in the rear view at me, at my eyeballs, and I always say, it's going to be a great day today. And most of the time it is. So I do spend some of that time. Yeah, I do spend some of that time. And then it's like 8:15, I come in the building, and I'm set. Get some coffee, and we're good.
That time doesn't have to be a long.
No.
You don't have to block off an hour to do something. You just need to have that focused, whatever it is, time. And in the morning, so my husband does what's called Ashtanga yoga, which is a really hard yoga, and they start at 7 in the morning. So he's also up.
Yeah.
But he's doing his thing. He's like getting ready.
Yeah.
His drive is like 20 minutes to get there, 25 minutes to get there. So he's doing those types of things. So even though we're both in the house, we're like in 2 different worlds.
Yeah, same. Like I don't see stuff until like I'm walking out the door.
Yeah.
It's like tell her goodbye and love you, and off I go. Right.
Yeah.
That's just how the house runs.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a routine, and when you have a child, you have to.
Yeah. Well, right, because like trying to get him out, we didn't get out the door. We live like 5 minutes from the school, so it's not that big a deal. But we didn't get out the door until 7:30.
And he has to be at school at
7:40.
Yes. So you kept moving.
So this morning I'm like, do we need to get up earlier? He's like, no. I was like, are you sure? Because I don't like being late.
Right.
And I don't want him being late, because if he's late, then we have to write a note. Like it's a whole thing. So yeah, we try to get out and out the door as fast as we can. Also,
do any of you have a routine in the morning, or something that you do early, or even that you do just to help you ground yourself for the day?
Yeah.
If you do,
let us know in the chat. The next one. Okay, so the next one was complete the most challenging tasks before lunch, because in the morning our brains are sharper, right? I know this is true because that's when I get the Wordle done a lot faster choices. Then it's like, man, it took me like 6 times, So I think, and I also will structure my day, so that most of the things that I do are the important things that I need to do and get done for the day. I don't for example, like the first hour of my day is spent doing nothing but LinkedIn, right? I'm liking people's content, I'm commenting on it, I'm posting my own thing, right? By the way, my post today, if you didn't see it, I am going to be on Career Launch Live with Catherine McCord. That is her live stream. That is 9 o'clock Central Time. Go follow Catherine and hit the attend button, and you'll see me. We're going to talk about interviewing and crazy interview processes, ghosting, testing, all the things for interviews. So that'll be Friday morning.
It's interesting you bring up testing. my manager has, I think 6 of us report to her, something like that. And once every other month on a Friday, she has a retreat off-site with all of us so that we can just and talk honestly. I don't know why it works better outside the building than inside the building. But one of the things we had to do this week was the DISC assessment, which is a personality profile. And it was like, So they have a free one. If you want to look at your personality, they have a free DISC one. It's short. It's 12 questions. It takes about 15 minutes. My problem is it asks you 2 things in the same question.
Okay.
So it would say something like, if you walk into a room of strangers, do you go into the corner, get something to eat, and just look around? That would be one. Or do you go to someone you know and start a conversation about something you're already aware of? Well, there are 2 different things there.
Yeah.
Do you start a conversation on something you already know? Do you go up to someone you know? Can you walk into a room of strangers and introduce yourself and then talk about yourself? Well, if it's not a networking group, I don't want to talk about myself. I want to hear about other people.
Right.
So it's just a unique 12-question DISC, but it does give you a short profile of who you are.
So do you walk into the room and get food, or you walk in and just start talking just about yourself?
I will walk into a room, probably get something to drink, a soda, and
Sure.
I will start introducing myself to people.
Okay.
I'm not the shy kind. What would you do?
I
do
that. That's actually what I do. I will go and get a drink, and then kind of hang for a minute and scope out, because people are kind of started milling around, talking, and I'm like, all right, that guy looks fun. I'm gonna go talk to him.
Or if there's a small group, I'll introduce myself. All those types of things.
Yeah.
I like meeting people. I'm interested in other people.
I am too. It's.
What do you do when you walk into a room and you don't know anybody? If it was a networking group, let's say, what would you do?
That's right, because
you usually don't know anybody.
Right. Well, and here's the other thing, guys. We're going to be doing in-person networking starting October 13th. It's going to be from 3 to 4:30. And we're doing the first one.
I thought we changed the time.
No. No, Allison, it's already said. There's no
been a lot to talk about.
There's no changing it. So if you guys want to, if you're in the Dallas area and you want to come, Phil's going to do a presentation on salary negotiation.
It's a great presentation.
And you can see me in person, and Allison too. You're going to be there, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Allison will be there too, and Phil. You come see us in person. Come meet people. Like, space is limited, but with networking, you never know who someone's going to know, and I want all y'all to know each other. So if you are interested, let me know. Okay, email me. My email is the letter J, Hopper, HOPPER at jfsdallas.org, and put in the subject line in-person networking, and then in the body of the email just say yes or whatever you want to say, and I will put you on the list. I'm already starting to get people on the list to confirm, because again, we got a limited spots, but I want you coming in.
Jason will confirm with our address. Just to let everybody know exactly where we are.
I'm not going to have you wandering the streets.
No.
I'll let you know where we are, so you can come in, but it's going to be amazing. I'm very stoked about it. And then the next one is on the 27th.
So also for those in the Dallas area or close by, on November 9th, we are having a job fair at the Renaissance Hotel across the street from us. they have kindly given us a room to be able to have our different clients there. And
Yes.
what we do is, when we did it last time in the past, we've had a variety of different industries, so you can talk to a number of different people in different industries. It's a great. We do it really well, and so let your friends know, let your family know, let anybody you know who's in job search that we are doing a job fair. It's going to be from 9 to, well, I don't know the time yet. We have the room from 9 to 1. It's probably going to be from 10 to 1.
Yeah. Well, we want to give the employers the time to set up.
Yes.
Before people start arriving.
Yes.
Yes, that's coming. But there'll be, as we get closer, guys, to time, there'll be more announcements on it. But
who's going to be attending?
Definitely email. Yes. Yeah, we'll put that too. We're working on it.
So we're doing a lot of things now that we used to do a lot of, and they're coming back. And we want you all to know that we are here for you. We are here. And if you have ideas of something you'd like us to do or you'd like us to see, you can email Jason or myself. I'm aharding@jfsdallas.org. Let us know. And if you need help one-on-one, please don't hesitate to call 972 437-9950.
There you go, up top. So you got it right. Extension
377.
377. That's right. Leave a message. We'll get back to you.
Someone will get back to you.
Somebody will get back to you, and we'll start that process. So,
and you can do it in the morning when you're fresh.
That's right. I'm so impressed you remembered the phone number.
I'm impressed I remembered the phone
number. I know. I was gonna wait and see if you could get all of it, and you did. Allison Harding nailed it today. All right. We are way off topic, but that's fine. It's important to know what's going on. Also, too, Yolanda, I see you. Yolanda goes running in the morning. And she goes to networking events and looks for friendly faces. Well, Yolanda, you're in Frisco, I think, right? Yeah, you're local. You come see me on the October 13th. I want you to be at the networking thing. So email me. I'm ready to go. All right. So we complete this one I love, and we just talked about this the other day, which was email selectively.
What does that mean?
That means, like, say, prioritize, right? Like, here's the thing with email. Like, it's instant, right? You send it, it goes. You have it, right? And I think, like, people tend to feel like they have to answer it right away. like I got an email from a recruiter. I'm trying to get him sorted out for the in-person networking thing, right? And he emailed me the next day, and the first was, "Sorry for the late response." And I'm like, it hasn't even been 24 hours, like, on it. Like, it's the next day. Like, I emailed you at like 10 in the morning yesterday. It's not even 10 in the morning. Sorry for the late response. Like, that's not a late response. That's an appropriate amount of time.
As a recruiter, it could be.
Well, you're correct. Because recruiters do go first.
I think it's your perception of what selectively means and what a late response is.
Yeah, sure.
So.
But like I will get so things that are time sensitive on emails get answered first, right? Like if it is, like I'm trying to set an appointment for a client, and or we have to get the training done, like those things get done first. But like if it's just like a client who's like, "Hey, here's what's going on. I'm just wanting to update you." I mean, you're going to get a response, but it probably won't be until Friday is usually when I get to. Friday's usually my admin day, and that's when I get all the emails answered and, go back through. And why are you looking at me like that?
Because I think that's too long a response time, personally. Because I do think if I've emailed someone, I want to hear sooner than that. That's my thinking, though. That's not everybody.
It's not, but it is usually the response that, yes, I got your email, kind of. You know what I mean? It's not anything that's pithy, right, or that is like, like if you email me, like, I'm gonna respond, right? Because that's kind of important, right? And all the clients are important and they will get a response. It just might not be like right.
So my thing is, I want to read it and respond as soon as possible because I'll forget. It's sort of like that to-do list thing.
Mm-hmm.
You do it on one day, one time. That's on your to-do, and that's your Monday. I because I know my focus and what I need to do. If there's an email that comes up, I personally know that I have to respond as soon as possible. And if I don't, I send it to myself again, so the next morning I can get to it when my brain isn't foggy.
So you work out of your inbox.
Yes.
Yes, I do too. That's how it like right, like how I know, if the email's still there.
Right.
At the end of the week, I don't want any emails in there.
Right.
Right. Unless it's like the retention report or something like that I'm gonna have to refer to like throughout the month.
Mm-hmm.
I want all emails done and
Right.
answered before we get to the next day.
So I think I never read advertising emails. They're gone. I don't even open them up. And I get lots of them. I don't know why. I get them to do estimates on new construction. Why do I need to see somebody, all this? Well, I emailed you last week. Why didn't you respond? This is the first line that you get to see because I don't have anything for it. I don't know you.
Yeah.
So,
No response
those are deletes
is
right
a response.
Away. Right.
Like I get that for me. Yeah, I get a lot of the crud like LinkedIn sends me. Oh, Yolanda. We'll use you, Yolanda. Yolanda Chen mentioned you in a comment, and so now it's like I know to go check my notifications, right? But like that's not anything that's just a quick delete. I get the same thing too. Like people they want to connect with me, and then they want to turn around and sell me.
Right.
Oh, as a coach, I can help you grow your business to $140,000 a day, and I'm like, no, you can't. And who's to say that I'm not?
Yeah, I can build your marketing and I can do it for less. And we've helped so many nonprofits that we know this, that we have the formula down pat.
Yeah, I don't even respond to this.
Yeah, I don't.
There's not any need to respond. I have enough actual DM conversations I have to keep up with because I got clients. Some of them they just straight up they don't email me, they don't call me. They just like, oh, he's on LinkedIn. They send and they send me DMs like, hey, I need to reschedule or I need to do this or I need to do that.
But I'm not active on it like you are either. So that's what makes the difference.
Well, I let clients know like when try to connect with them because like I'm big on LinkedIn and using it as the tool to get you where you want to go, right? Okay, well, you're a client of mine. Why would we not be not connected, right? And I tell them, look, it's another way for you to get in touch with me. You could send me a DM, and they're like, oh, cool. Some of them do, some of them don't. But
so talking about LinkedIn, for those of you who do have good LinkedIn profiles, fabulous. That's great. For those of you that don't, Jason really is like a guru and can help you. But your LinkedIn profile is really important for you to be able to market yourself for the industry that you want to be working in. So just as a reminder, do have a really good profile.
And you know what I want to do next? Your profile.
Oh, it's so
I need to get Phil's profile done, and I need to get Brenda under control. Who has a good profile?
Who?
Kristen, and she's never on LinkedIn, but her profile looks like it. I mean, her profile looks great, right? If you go look at it, it looks awesome, and she's never on the site, right? So, and she doesn't care. That's yeah, that is true. Yolanda said that is so common with LinkedIn, guys. I am paying attention to chat. So so where are you in returning emails selectively? Next up, and we talked about this one already a little bit, is create a system.
Yeah, create a schedule for yourself. I always had like a paper calendar, a book calendar by the week, which I still do have, which is important to me because of my disorganizational skills, which we've already talked about. But now I've really gotten into Outlook calendar.
Yeah.
It's just so easy. And I never did that before, but it's so much better than paper.
Do you categorize your appointments?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, I can show you how it's
Okay.
easy. And so you, what are you gonna say? You're gonna be a 5 on that?
No, I'm not. I'm not that good yet.
You're not that good. I'm gonna say 5
Okay.
because, but I've had to work on it. Right?
Because you put things on there and then you don't look at it and then you miss them.
I will miss them if Outlook doesn't send me a alert. If it doesn't pop up, and it should be sending me an alert on everything that I put on the calendar. But like the other day, it did send me an alert for the numbers I needed to get filled, and it was like later in the day. I'm like, oh crap! It's not that I forgot. I just didn't get that alert.
You did forget.
So, well, I did forget, right? Because I didn't get my notification.
But I'm the same way.
I didn't get the notification.
The alerts are important to me too.
Yeah, if it doesn't come up, it's just like, or I like, oh yeah, right. But I have like everything's color coded for like action items to client calls are different to when I'm at lunch, when I'm not available because of it's like the time when I finish up the things for the day, right? So it gets me. It's it's process, and if it's not there and ready to go, things fall apart.
Yeah, what we're learning, years ago, JFS had no processes, no really good, strong processes. And a few years ago, we got a new COO who came from an organization that was very process oriented. And so now the whole organization is very process oriented. We're going to do processes in our department. We have organizational processes, and they're so beneficial when you can follow a script of what's good and what's right instead of making mistakes and then rebuilding and then finding out you were wrong and then having to do something else. A process helps you, whether it's a personal process or for a company, it really doesn't matter, helps you do it right.
Right.
So it's like scheduling your day. That's a process.
That's correct.
In the morning, you do A, B, C, D. In the afternoon, you do E, F, G, H. And in the evening, maybe that's just your relaxing time. Maybe that's when you want to journal. Maybe that's when you want to play Wordle. Who knows when during the day you want to do those things, but the things that are important to you often can be improved if you know the process of when to get to them, how to get to them, what to do, all those different things. So creating that schedule, that system, that ability to look at something, whether it's on paper or on your computer or on your phone, it really doesn't matter where it is, as long as you can look at it and say, oh yeah, I do have to do that today.
Yeah, I do that too, but like not only that, but like I build in my head like what is like, okay, I'm gonna leave here, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna make dinner, I'm gonna talk with our son, I'm gonna go take a walk, and I'm gonna walk from this time to this time, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna do bedtime with the kid, you know what I mean? Like, but if something goes sideways, like Steph's like, well, I'm going to the store. Be like, no, you can't go. You can't go to the store. This is my time to
it's her time
leave.
too.
Right, it's her time too, right? And so usually when I leave, right, I tell her the process. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get my hair cut, then I'm gonna go take a walk. Then I'll be back, right? And she knows too, like, okay, where the hell my husband's at? Like, I'm not running the town. She knows where I'm at. Right. And then you had to pivot, right? Because now I went to go get my hair cut, and I'm usually just in and out like that, right? There was only one person working that day, and I was there an hour, which threw off my whole time. Now I get to the rec center to go walk. Steph texts because Tony wasn't feeling well, and she's like, when are you coming home? I'm like, I just got here. What are you talking about coming home? I'm not coming home for another hour. And I'm like, why do you need me to come home? What's going on? No. She had to go, round up some Tylenol for the kid because his head hurt, threw everything into put a monkey wrench and stuff. So, yeah, it's I think I'm it's in the system and creating the system is so long as I stick to the system.
And we're using system and schedule.
Kind of, together,
So
right? Yeah.
Being able to know your schedule will help you be more productive.
Well, that's right. It's like, because you realize it's on my schedule to prepare for Caffeinate your career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do your research, kid. Look, I got notes today, guys. You probably noticed I had notes the past couple of weeks because I've been better prepared because I put it on the schedule, and I don't want Allison looking at me like that. So,
we would sometimes walk in here and not have a topic, and it was like, "What's our topic this morning?" And so now we are actually more prepared.
Which drove you crazy?
It drove me nuts.
You could just pick me up and plop me down in a room.
We can all talk about
anything.
Yeah,
that's not talking.
But knowing what you're going to talk about and allowing me to do my research and process, or whomever your guest,
and what stories you might want to tell, too, right? Like, oh, that'll fit with that story. So, and then the last one is to quit multitasking.
Now that one I have a real problem with because there's not multitasking.
Oh.
I don't know how we can stop multitasking because I can be working on putting notes into the computer and the phone rings. Do I not answer the phone? Do I, I will try and do all of it.
I mean, it depends. Who's calling? Right?
I may not know who's calling.
Like
because they might be someone asking for information about our program.
Right. Yeah, I was in the middle of putting notes in, and a client called. I'm like, it's a client that if I don't pick up the phone, I'm never going to talk to them again just because of their behavior. Like, I never pick up the phone. But I think for me, I want to get that done, off my plate, move on to the next thing, right? Whatever it might, which is why I have to structure the day. Like up to lunch. My lunch is scheduled.
So I was putting notes. We have to put notes on our computer all the time about what we're doing. So I was putting my progress notes in, and a new person called asking about our program, gave the information, then they said, well, I'd like to do an intake. And I'm like, I'm looking at my notes on the computer knowing that I wanted to finish that, but I didn't want to disappoint this person.
So you did the intake?
I did the intake.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wander in on me while I'm putting notes in,
yeah, yesterday he asked me to wait, remember? Because he had something important he wanted to finish.
Put it down. Well, that's because when I talk to clients, I'm not writing out all the things. I'm it's just like it's like when I write the notes, it's like, capital L, capital I, dash, about, skills, headline. That way I go back and say, okay, we talked about changing your headline, getting a banner pick in there, all the things. And then it gets translated in, and it's, if I don't, and this is what sometimes what am I supposed to be doing right now? Or what? It's really bad when I work from home, and I walk into the kitchen. It's like, why am I in the kitchen? Oh yeah, I was gonna get some water. I was gonna get some water, right? So I get a drink of water, and off I go. But I forget because I'm trying to do all the things, and it's hard for me to. What's interesting for me, because I have the blinds open in the office, right? And people walking by, cars, none of that bothers me, right? But if you walk by my door, I'm like, is that Allison? Where's she going? What's Allison doing? I need to talk to her. It just throws off everything.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree.
And I think part of that is just people. I want to talk to people, right? I go, Jeff Tepper's at the copier. What's up, Jeff? Because my office door, the copier's right outside my office door, and I holler at pretty much everybody that is printing things. And then they either come and talk to me or they don't. So, but it's that for me, I got to do one thing and one thing and one thing and try to stay on topic, because otherwise it's just I'm doing too many things at once and then nothing's getting done.
It's that focus thing.
It's that focus. Yeah, I have to try hard, really hard to focus. Because otherwise it just get me too distracted. So on that, I'm gonna, say probably I'm a 3 on that. Because I'm trying.
Hey, we all try. We all want to be better, get better, do better. So
Every day.
Every day.
Allison, we're actually almost out of time. I didn't tell you what the kind of fun question of the day
No, you
was,
didn't.
but
That's what I was
I thought of a really good one and one that we haven't talked about before.
Okay.
What's your favorite board game?
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you a minute to think because I'm going to tell you mine while you're thinking of that because I just threw that one at you. My favorite board game is actually a game. It's called Stratego, and it's like, so you have like rows of little pieces and there's a face on all of the pieces, right? And there's a number, and then you also have basically it's capture the flag on a board game, right? And because that's the whole point of Stratego is to get the other person's flag. But the people as you move the pieces have different numbers, right? And so if like one of the guys, so the miners, those are the guys that can take out the bombs. They're the only guys that can take out the bombs. The miners are like number 8, right? So if you come and you move into a space of 8, but you're a 5, you lose, right? And so the idea is to really just dismantle the other person's army until you can kind of figure out where the flag is and you get the flag. It's a game that I've played since I was a kid.
Really? I've never even heard
Yes,
of it.
and I love it. I still love it and love playing it today. It's called Stratego.
So it's not a board game, but it's a game. We play dominoes with friends.
Yeah.
And
like 42 or Mexican train.
Mexican train.
Yeah.
Up to 12. Some only go up to 10. I didn't realize that. But anyways, we play that, and I mean, we keep score and who's won what, and it gets loud. It's really fun. So we've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
And really enjoy it and teach other people because it's easy to teach. What takes a while is the strategy because it can change in a minute.
Right.
So.
That's right. Yeah, it takes a minute to build out your train.
Yeah.
When we didn't have Tony, we would get together with our friends who also didn't have kids and go to the bar and hang out. Like we would stay late too and play Mexican train.
Really?
Yeah, just play, and get a couple of adult beverages and play Mexican train for a couple hours.
And it's amazing how, the other night, I was winning, and lost.
Right.
Because I had so many points in my hand.
You get caught with a lot big numbers. That's it.
So what is your favorite board game?
Yes.
Anybody have any?
Monopoly. I was going to go with Monopoly, but I think Stratego is just so much fun.
That's good.
Awesome. So next week, guys, we will, let's see. Oh, Yolanda says snakes and ladders because of her kids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what's the one where you drop the red and blue, the different things, that 4x4 thing? And
Connect 4.
Connect 4.
Yeah.
I play that with my grandkids all the time.
Yeah. When Tony was like a kid, like he's still a kid, but like when he was like 3.5, 4, we'd play Connect 4 and I would just destroy him.
Oh, no,
and one day he got so upset and I told him, I said, I will never ever let you win. Ever. I said, but the day that you beat me will be one of the best days in your life. And he beat me and he was so happy. And then you know what happened after that? He started beating all the adults. That's how good he got. He just was like killing it because I made him play. And I said, sit back down, we're going to play again. And he got good at it and he won. He could probably beat everybody. Yeah. So, all right, guys, this has been Caffeinate Your Career. Next week, Kristen Lobenstein will be here, and we will be talking about side hustles. And, some kind of ones that you might not have thought of. So, that'll be next week. So, everybody have a great week. We will see you then. This has been Caffeinate Your Career. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Glad you were here. Bye.